Right, welcome back everybody to Civilization 5 walkthrough from me, Daniel. And actually I'm having to post-narrate this because I completely forgot to record the sound to when I was doing it. I was talking to myself as a consequence. Anyway, I know pretty much what I said, so I'm just going to quickly go through it as I would be live, so don't worry, you're not going to miss anything out. So, this is the first video that I've made in the third batch, so I wanted to quickly explain what was going on. Onondaga, the capital of the Iroquois, has basically taken a lot of the map, with all the land is stolen basically, as he tends to do in Civilization 5. He is a massive city hogger. And in terms of the religion we got going on, in the last session, I believe we started spreading our religion, and we are now the majority religion in the world at this point in time. So hopefully that will continue. Remember, Denmark is no longer in this game. He has been wiped out by, originally it was Siam, and then Copenhagen got taken out by the Iroquois. So they were kind of double killed, really. But we're in a situation right now where things aren't too bad. The military is quite weak, but other than that, we've got a reasonable amount of land. We're quite a wealthy empire compared to the rest. We just get metal casting there, and all in all things aren't too bad. I am well aware though that I'm going to have to settle a city where our silver is down there before Hiawatha does so and gets the idea to do so. And I'm well aware that I can't expand further to the west particularly easily, so I'm going to have to focus further down the map. So we'll go to a next turn. And Spanish units seem to be returning from wherever they went in the first place. There seems to be a lot less of them than before, so presumably whatever they chose to do didn't go too well for them. Never mind, that's not our problem. So we do need to decide where we're going to place this city. Oh, hang on a second, before we think about that, there's been a pikeman, a barbarian pikeman there. Let's look for a unit that doesn't have any experience. The cataphract can be levelled up again on barb, so we'll send that down there, even though it will not face the pike very well. And we've built a mine in Nicaea, and we're probably going to go build a trading post down there, because we don't have one yet. You should be able to go and see it. Weirdly, the pike has come to engage with our civilization, despite the fact that he has in doing so has left his encampment completely undefended. So we'll shoot it with our crossbow. We won't fire the city at it, because obviously the city doesn't get experience for doing that. Spain and Siam are now friends apparently, and we're going to attack with our cataphract, even though it's not going to do particularly well. It only took 24 though, that wasn't too bad. And the crossbow finished it off nicely. We'll go and collect our reward money next turn, unless they put a unit on there. Still got to think about where to put this city though, because if we put it on the river, then we can't reach the silver. If we don't put it on the river, we're not going to get as much of a tile bonus, so I'm still weighing that one up. The cataphract's going to go collect the gold, and because of the way mounted units work, I can move again. If you attack a unit and you've still got movement points remaining, you can move as well, so it's very, very handy. Hopefully I'll get to show off how that is very useful at some point in the near future. But I still can't decide where to put this city. There's some logic to putting it sort of where the 4 horizontal mountains are, adjacent to those. But I don't want to take all those desert tiles because they are useless. Petra is already gone, remember, it's in one of my own cities. So all the desert is literally useless. So I don't want to have a lot of desert tiles around my city. That wouldn't be ideal. Down here on this river though, there's a lot of very good city potential spaces. But if I put a city there without putting a city sort of halfway in between, it's going to be completely isolated, and if I get attacked I'm going to be stuck. We'll take your 50 gold, thank you Isabella. Oh, we're losing grass on Antwerp, so we're going to possibly lose some happiness in a few turns. We'll just have to build some happiness buildings to resurrect the issue. So yeah, we're still deciding on where to put this city. And let's just hope nobody beats us to the city locations. That would be nothing short of a disaster. But right now all we can do is move our cataphract back to where it was. We'll make it fortify in place, make sure it's nice and healthy so it doesn't get killed by a rogue pike that we may get out of the middle of nowhere. That would be rather unpleasant. And let's move to the next turn. Wow, the Spanish units really did get a pummeling. I've seen a sword and a catapult and literally that's it. They went wherever they went, probably the US with a reasonably strong army, and they've come back with diddly plop. Oh, the US has actually put a city where I mentioned the last session they should place a city. Chicago is now there. That is a very good city location. Next to horse, sheep and ivory, so that should get on pretty well, especially as it's on a river. So a fair few of those tiles are going to get a nice gold bonus. And now we're no longer friends with Antwerp. So we'll lose 3 happiness. That's a shame. We're still deliberating though over where to put this city. And it's a real toughie. And I genuinely couldn't decide. I was here for ages. Absolutely ages. Could not decide where to put it. I know Antwerp only needs religion spread to it to make it happy with us again. And it is, because of the fact it's being pressurised, naturally probably going to do that. Hopefully it'll happen before it just ends up stop giving the quest. We still don't want to befriend you. I'm sorry, we just don't. Right, we have another pike, so we'll put it down in Adrianople just because there's nowhere else we really need to put it right now. Pikemen are particularly good on the defence, but not on the attack, because obviously normally people will attack you with knights and things like that, and pikes can chew them up, spit them out, much more so than a longsword can. So they do have their uses. On the attack though, they're only strength 16. And by this point in the game, most cities have strength of at least 20, 25. Ours don't, because I've not built walls, I've not felt the need to. But most cities have 25, sometimes up to 30. Some city-states might even have more than that at some point. Because as soon as they get, I think it's chivalry, they get access to castles. And what were we doing here? I think I was looking to see if anybody had any gold. Yeah, because we could do with selling some stuff, because we want to try and fleece people off as much as possible. And Washington has a hell of a lot of gold. He's just been in the golden age looking at how much gold per turn he's getting. So let's engage with him and see what we can sell him, or flog to him.
Good day.
We can give him silver. He doesn't have any luxury resources spare, so we'll take some gold. We don't like that deal. We'll take it in cash only, please. 720 for silver, that sounds good to me. Do you want horses as well? We're not too bothered about giving horses away, like I said, because pike will just destroy them.
Is the following trade of interest to you?
We won't give too much iron away, though we might give the odd bit of iron out to people, maybe 1 or 2, but we don't want to give lots of iron out because long swords are problematic, even against muskets. They're not quite as strong as muskets, but they're not far off. Whereas pike just get mushed and crushed by muskets. I think muskets have power of 24, which is the same as pikes against mounted units. So by the time you get muskets, pikes become pretty much defense orientated only. So we bought our 2 settlers because, well, we might get the landstone off us if we're too slow. And the Iroquois and the US are both now going to city spam mode, so we better get on with this stuff. Where do we want to go though, is the question. I still can't really decide, because I'm going to have to put one city on the river to the right, because it's such a nice location. But the other city is going to have to be in the gap and bridge the gap. But where to put it, I don't really know. It's a tough one because like I said, if I go too near the river, I'm going to end up with a lot of desert tiles, but I'll end up with some tiles with extra gold, so that's a good thing. But if I go where all the forest is, getting the food resource is going to be quite difficult unless I chop down all the forest, in which case my production will drop really badly. On the flip of that though, there is a desert hill 4 silver and a sheep there, or 2 sheep if you see the one by the river. So there are some tiles that produce quite a lot of production anyway, so it might be better to just go in and around where the forest is. Now have a nice drink of pineapple juice. There are quite a lot of options to go to here, and if I'd taken any longer than I did, I would have had to post narrate this anyway, because I wouldn't want to bore you to death just watching me ponder about where to put things. I think I've done enough of that as it is. Originally I thought that was a good location, and the more I thought about it, the less I liked it, because if I was going to put a city originally where I said I was to get the iron, which I already have, that would be a really poor location. So I think, why not go on the desert hills? Because that way I can get access to 3 of the silvers, possibly some iron as well down there, the sheep as well. I think that's a good city location, so we'll go and settle down there. That is, I think, the optimum thing to do. But I'm going to move my pike down here as well, just because obviously forest has bad vision and I could get caught by a barbarian at any point. Genghis Khan is still fanning about with his units down here for some reason. And the question now is, where do I want to put my good city? I'm thinking I'll put it maybe next to the sheep, perhaps? I'm not going to decide immediately right now, though. I'll have a look and see what's what. There is a temptation to go down here with the gems, but that might anger Spain, and that would cause us a whole pile up of issues because of where the location is. And she'd be able to throw resources straight at us, whereas we'd take ages to get our military down there. So it probably isn't the best idea to do that. We've got our deer improved. So now where do we want to go and improve? I'm thinking it might be a good idea to build some roads. So we'll go down to Constantinople and start building a road. Salt for silver, I still assume that's the best thing to do, so we'll just keep on trucking. And we lost the oracle. Wow. Well, we should get a lot of gold for that at the very least. And we've got physics this turn as well. We got 400, or just short of 500 gold. So that's not bad at all. I'll take that. I mean, the oracle would have been nice, but 500 gold and thereabouts is pretty good too. Varna will have a circus built, please, because if we're building 2 new cities, our happiness is going to drop a lot. I will have a workshop in Constantinople, just because the higher the production in the capital, the better, really. So far we've not had any land stolen off us, so that's good. It looks like where we're planning to put our 2 cities, we can actually put them. So we now have it in place. That is fantastic. Where do we want to put this stuff? Right, so I've decided I'm going to go for the production instead of the food. I don't mind if that city takes long to grow, but I quite like to get the culture production up. And I'm still thinking we need to go near the sheep, but do you want to go to the left or to the sort of south left? It's not south left, southwest tile of the sheep. Both are good for different reasons, but I think we'll go to the southwest tile of the sheep. I said the reason to go to the west of the sheep would be instant access to silver. You're more protected because of the river, but I don't think it's quite as good a tile. Oh, there's a barb encampment there. Oh, and it's only a composite bowman camp as well, so that's going to be an easy kill, an easy experience. So let's settle our city where it is, and let's get a monument out there again because we want to get the land. Because if anybody starts to settle cities near us, we need to be able to out-culture them pretty much. And I believe, yes, Varna has just converted to our religion, so that's great because it will mean more pressure on Antwerp. I believe every city within 10 or 13 tiles, depending on which final belief you got, will increase the pressure on a city by 2. So obviously you want more cities with your religion around, so you can convert things more easily. It does mean if we've got any cities in isolation, they will probably get converted away from your religion very easily too, so you've got to be careful. I'm thinking, guys and gals, we should go and research more about Genghis Khan's location. I believe we have open borders with him, so I think now's the time to go and have a look. He took a pot shot at us in the last turn, so we'll attack him, and we nearly killed him. Now here's the use of being a mounted unit, is that we can run away. So after what do we want to build here? Probably a university, that'd be a good idea. Let's get a university going. More science is good. We can now run away so that we go outside of the range. You can't attack twice unless you've got blitz, but you can attack and move on the same turn. And attack then move, unlike a lot of other land units. Oh wow, we've lost the Hagia Sophia as well. We should get a lot of gold for that. Yeah, we did. We got nearly 750 gold for that. I would have rather have the Hagia Sophia, but we'll get this encampment. That's 75 more gold. It will make Warsaw pleased with us. I'm not particularly bothered because I believe Warsaw is cultural. So we're probably getting something like 6 culture turn off them, which isn't particularly useful anyway. But never mind. Let's get this road continued, because our worker got scared that there was a composite bowman there, so he stopped doing it and froze. Let's get a worker quickly. We now got the money from the Hagia Sophia. It's better to buy the worker now and get it over with. It's much more efficient to spend your gold than to just have it in a stockpile. One exception to that is when you're at the end of the game and you're trying to bribe city-states to befriend you, because larger cash gifts are more influence efficient. But we'll move our cataphract back to the city there that it came from. Still, Genghis Khan is fanning out. He's got warriors around. How rubbish is that? You would have thought that'd be another incentive for him to settle near where Nicomedia is, because there's iron. But no, if he wants to be stupid, it's for our benefit. We have a lot of options. Unlike Genghis Khan, who appears to have been settling on a peninsula. So very weird. I told you Pangaea maps tend to be weird in this game at this point in time. Because we've got one giant piece of land and then this little peninsula off to the side. What is that all about? He really did roll a double 1. But that's not my problem. It's amazing to think though. He must have a second city looking at his borders. And he's still only just beating Gustavus Adolphus, who got his second city stolen off him. He really must be failing miserably.
If you enjoyed the video you've just seen, please join my Facebook group and follow me on Twitter for the latest news.